Hey everyone, I thought I'd do a different kind of video today. And if you happen to reach this video through search, you probably already know what a Zettelkasten is. And my goal is not to explain the entire Zettelkasten methodology. I'll give you a quick overview, but to really set up Apple Notes and use it in a way that makes it easier for you to use a Zettelkasten, organize it, create output from it, and possibly even export it in the future for other types of needs. So let's begin with just a quick overview of just what a Zettelkasten is. And for those of you who already know, just skip ahead to the next section. And I don't want to go into too much detail, but a Zettelkasten really is a methodology of note-taking. And the idea is you create small sets of atomic notes that can fit on an index card, like a card file, and then those notes are organized in a tree-like structure that are linked together. And the idea is as you continually build these small sets of notes, you expand them into an index or a large tree of knowledge that you can use for output in the future. It's really that simple. The hard part is organizing them correctly in a way that's useful for your output or your needs. Now, there's tons of information out there about Zettelkastens and how to set them up and what they're like, and the methodology varies by different people. The current popular Zettelkasten technique was developed by Nicholas Luhmann, a sociologist, who had a vast amount of output work, and I think that's what drove the popularity because people saw all the output he created. He used this technique as a way to help him drive that output. But Luhmann isn't the originator of this technique. He just expanded on it and made it very useful for himself. Card file systems have a long history of lineage, and you could look into that if you needed to. So that's in a nutshell. I have plenty more links in the description for you to go learn about Zettelkastens if you don't know about it. But let's move on and how you would set this up in Apple Notes. Now that you know what a Zettelkasten is, the hard part here is going to be how you're going to organize that in Apple Notes. And there are some specific points you should really think about before you just jump right in. So let's quickly go through this and I'll talk about those more in detail. First is the inbox that you're going to use in Apple Notes. Obviously, Quick Notes is a very good example of that. How you're going to organize bibliography, bib notes they call them, or literature notes. What numbering system and naming system you're going to use so it makes logical sense as you're looking on it in Apple Notes. And linking between notes, that's a little more difficult with Apple Notes, and we're going to have to talk about that and how we use that with directed trees. The best usage of tags with these Zettelkasten notes, and then finally how to output these for actual use. Meaning, what am I going to do these? Create an article, create a research report, actually create a video, something like that. All right, let's get started. One of the things we're going to talk about first are your fleeting or the notes you're capturing on the fly. These are going to be the quick notes that you set up. And what you're seeing on the screen here is an example of one of Luhmann's categories called parties. This is about like political parties or groups of people. But let's talk about how we can get fleeting information into an inbox first. So the first thing you're going to want to do, and this is going to be up to you, is to go up to your notes settings and determine if you want quick notes to continue on the same quick notes. So you can say always resume to the same quick note or have them be individual. I prefer individual notes. That's up to you. You could have them all together. Same on iOS. If you go into the settings and you scroll down to the very, very bottom here and you go to access notes from lock screen, you can see always create a new note or resume last note. And I always create a new note in that case. Now, the other thing you can do as you're capturing new notes as quick notes is I always use a tag. So if this is going to be a fleeting thought, I will add a tag. My personal tag is ZKI. What that means is that's a Zettelkasten inbox. And that's going to be my identifier that I can use as a tagging system for any fleeting note. And I will do that on iOS as well. And that's a good way to capture these fleeting thoughts. It could be an audio file. It could be something you just use voice transcription on, something you're like thinking in the car and you're trying to voice transcriptions, you have ideas, or if you're just capturing quick things as you're working through an article or something like that. But that ZKI tag is your index into all of your inbox and everything you're capturing initially. And it really doesn't matter how complex or simple those are. That's just a place to capture that information. And Quick Notes is perfect in Apple Notes for that. Personally, I don't care where those end up because I have them identified, but you might want to have a more organized method of putting them in a folder or some other way. It's really up to you. And now just by clicking on the tag ZKI, I can see all of those fleeting notes either on iOS or on macOS. And it's that easy. So that way I can just gather those and use them. All right, next up are the bibliography or literature notes. And there's a lot of debate on how you want to do this. And this one's very, very flexible. I'll just show you how I do it. Obviously, when you're reading material or you're watching videos, you collect that information. You want to have a source of that information. I just create a bibliography folder here. And within that folder, I have actual references to specific things that I'm reading or to specific instances in the Zettelkasten. So you can see here what I'll do is I'll put the date of the publication and the author. In the description field of Apple Notes, I'll actually put the citation, and then you'll have notes in here so you can see how that might look in here. You could do this differently. You could link out to Zotero, for example, and have all your notes there. You might link out to something like Hypothesis and have your notes there, or you want to bring those in. However you want to do that. I prefer this method of having the actual citation within the note. And one of the things you'll see here, if I go to the Zettelkasten example here and I open that up, and then I can then click on that specific reference and go directly to it if I need to. And you can embed that reference anywhere in any note if you needed to get to it. So very easy, very simple. That's the way I work with it. You could certainly come up with any other way, but the idea with the Zettelkasten is you'd be collecting this information in a bibliography note and then be able to reference that. All right, let's get to the most difficult part of organizing a Zettelkasten with Apple Notes. This is the numbering system and how to organize it. Now, one of the most difficult parts of this is the fact that notes are organized in a directed tree format. This is a mistake made by many other note-taking systems where you think we just link between things. That's associations between ideas. But Luhmann's approach was not about associations. It was about directed thought. And what that means is each idea builds on the previous idea and continues to build out. And branches are sub-thoughts or footnotes or new ideas that are associated with that main thread of thought. And you can see here's the example actually on Luhmann's site on how that works. So you can see the notes that are numbered 17. Here's the main stream of thoughts. Then it branches off down to some sub-thoughts, other footnotes, other ideas, etc. And that's the key thing you have to remember. So what you want to do is have your numbering system reflect that. So you can see how Luhmann managed his naming conventions here. He simply added an additional number or letter as he went down the tree. The main thread would just be A, B, C, D, or 17.1, 17.2, etc. Then if he branched off at 17.1b, or 1B, 1A, or 1B, 1D, each level would add another letter or number, and then you knew which level you were on. It was easy for him because he could just look it up manually. But when we switch over to Apple Notes here, and I have an example of Luhmann's section 18, you can see that it's going to be a little bit more difficult to understand what the tree structure is, and you're just going to have to get that in your mind, and the naming convention will show that. One way to do it, the way I show here, is with the periods. The periods tell you which level you're on. So if I'm on 18.2 or I'm on 18.2a or 2b, I'm on the main level. I only have one period. But if I have two periods like 18.21, that means that's a subnote, or 18.31 is a subnote. So that's one way you could do it. There are other ways you could do this. I did an example over here where you could use the letters and dashes if you wanted to. That might be a more appropriate way where the number of dashes tell you which level you're on. So the main levels would not have any dashes. It would just be letters and numbers. Or you could add a dash here or a dash A. This would show you're on one level down, you're two levels down, etc. So that's going to be your preference and how you like to number and title things. Just keep that in mind as you're building out the Zettelkasten in Apple Notes, because that'll help you see that tree. Okay, next up is linking. Now you could just stop right here and not link your notes together if you wanted to. Obviously, that's going to make things a little more difficult, but you could just do that if you go up to just view as list, and then you can just use the arrow keys to arrow down through your notes like this. That's one way to do it. You just happen to know it based on what I mentioned, the tree structure of the periods. You'd know which one is the main tree, which one isn't. But with Apple Notes, it's probably easier here. It would be definitely easier to link between these notes. You'll see an example here. What I did was 18 is an example here with Luhmann's notes of 18.1 is his literature notes, and I'm just clicking through the main thread here. So at the bottom of every note, I have a link to the next note in the main thread. Now, one of the nice things is with Apple Notes, if you happen to open this in a new window, and you start scrolling through, I jump to 18.2, and I'm going through the main thread. You can hit Option, Command, bracket, and go back in time and go right back to the beginning. And that's handy. And the same would be true if you're jumping down into a subtree. So if I jump into a subtree, then you can see This is the subtree links, and I can go Option Command bracket and come back. And then if I can even have a backlink if I wanted to have one there manually. Of course, the hard part here is going to be if you create a new card and insert it between two, you're going to have to make sure you update the link between the two manually. And that's not too bad. It's just something you have to do. Works just as well on iOS. You can see I can just jump over and you can see the same thing. I can just use the links to go between notes. The other thing to consider is going to be backlinks, and you saw that example here where I put a manual backlink in. Now, there are some ways around this. There's no real way to create an automated backlink. There are ways to look at the menu item and see what my last one was, or things like I had my Option Command bracket to go back to the beginning. Personally, I don't think it's really necessary. And with any Zettelkasten, it's absolutely important to call out that the main reason you have a Zettelkasten is to cross-link ideas over time, right? As you're building out these sequential lists, even though we're linking in one topic, you're going to want to cross-link. That's one of the most important aspects of any Zettelkasten. So you can see here, for example, in 18.2, he has this party acts as a broker of ideas, C ties to the elite, and then you have a cross-reference over to category 21. And then he has a note in 21. So that's one of the primary goals of a Zettelkasten, is that as you're building these out, you can cross-link between the two. Now, you may want to put a backlink back to anything that links out. So if I did link from 18.2 to 21, I want to make sure that I can get back easy, that you could put a backlink there as well. Again, just total personal preference. All right, we're almost done. Next up is tagging. Now, this is a little bit controversial in how you want to do this. First of all, let's take a look at an example with some tags. I do recommend putting specific temporary tags on cards or notes as you're working through a Zettelkasten. If you have a project you're working on, this is going to be part of the output. So you're going to want to be able to use that tag to say, give me all the notes tied to a particular project. Now, you could also do topic-based tags if you felt those were necessary. Now, I like to stay more traditional to Lumen's vision of just having a map of content versus tagging as that. But maybe you have some cross-category things or general ideas that you want to tag. Because the map of content here is going to have all of the similar ideas, right? We're all linked to parties would be an example, ideology. You could have, obviously, a map of content can be anything you want it to be, any kind of detail down to names, locations, ideas, specific subtopics. It's really handy to have a map of content that way rather than have hundreds of tags trying to manage that. So I would say use tags very lightly and definitely for temporary identification of notes that you want to collect together later. And in this next section, we'll talk about output. So now you have this beautiful Zettelkasten, you have hundreds of notes, you have links between them, you have cross links with ideas, you've generated some tags about a specific project. Now you need to write something, you're going to create some output. Now, one of the big advantages of an analog Zettelkasten is index cards you can just take out of a box, you can lay them on a table and rearrange them in the order that you want for your output. This gets a little more difficult with Apple Notes. Now, as I mentioned, one of the first things you could do is you could just select the tag. I created a temporary tag here called Project 2026-05 for May, and then I get those notes that I just happened to tag. That works. And then the next question is going to be, how am I going to rearrange these? I really don't have a good way to do that. Obviously, with Apple Notes, all I have is sort by edit date, create date, or title. I can't move things around manually like this to create an organization in Apple Notes just by doing that. Now, you could just manually copy and paste each one of these in the order you want. I could just say Control A and drag it over to say something like Pages, and that would just be the manual way to build this out. But there are some other options. Option 1 is to just create duplicates and drag them into a project folder. So you can see I created a Project 2026 folder here. LOL, no pun intended. I can just go through my notes. I find the ones I like. Maybe I like this one. I just create a duplicate. There's the duplicate. Just drag it on over to that project. And then I find another one, make a duplicate, drag it on over to the project, and just keep doing that. Then if you happen to see my video called How to Write an Essay Using Apple Notes, what you can do here is rearrange these by a number title. So I could then have my project outline, and maybe this one's going to be first. Since this is a duplicate, I don't really care. I can just come up here and say this will be one section on party understanding. That's section 1 of my project. This is going to be section 2 on parties tasks. Okay, and now I have these organized. I can just continually adding these numbers to the top. And then what will happen in that shortcut that I mentioned in the other video is I can just merge these all together into one, and it creates a draft outline for me automatically. Still a little bit manual, but not a bad way to do it. Now, oddly, one of the other options you can do is you can actually select multiple notes in iOS and drag them onto a Google Doc, and all of the notes will combine together automatically into one document. So you can see here I just selected 5 different notes. I move over to Google Docs. I just drop them into a blank new document. All the sections are there. So that's another way you could do this. And then at that point, you could just rearrange these into the order you'd want to, but at least gets your draft in there very, very easily. But a simple method if you have an iPad or an iPhone. Also, what's weird about that is that particular option does not work with Pages. It'll only copy one note. Same with other types of apps. I tried different note-taking apps to drop those combined notes in. Only Google Docs combine them all at once. So interesting method. All right, the third option is just to use Freeform. And if you happen to watch my video called How to Use Freeform with Apple Notes, you probably saw it's pretty easy just to drag and drop information right onto a Freeform board. So if this is my project board, I could certainly just open a note. I could just highlight it, simply drag it over, and drop it. Now this is going to give you that effect of a card file on a tabletop. So if I do another one and drag it over, you can see now I have these, and I could rearrange these on the Zettelkasten board on Freeform any way I want and get the arrangement I need for my draft copy. And then with iOS, it's even easier. You can select multiple notes again the same way. So I'll select a few here. And then what I'm going to do again is just drag and drop them right onto the Freeform board. Now you'll see they'll stack on top of each other with iOS, but then jump back to the Mac. I can then take a look at each one, drag them off, this one off, we'll drag that one off. This is pretty easy. Again, this becomes your working desktop that you can rearrange things and try to understand how you want to organize your final output. Move those last two, pretty basic, nice, easy visual way to do it. Now, I'm sure there's other tricks you could use to combine these as in a working format with your Zettelkasten. You could maybe export as using shortcuts to markdown files, etc., things like that. All right, that's it. Just some final thoughts before I wrap up. First, keep all your Zettelkasten notes in Apple Notes in the same folder. This is a problem in Gallery View. If you click on links in Gallery View and it jumps to a different folder, it shows all the notes and you lose track of the folder you're in. So if you use List View, then it's not necessarily as bad of a problem. Use tags lightly. I mentioned this earlier for very broad subjects. Have titles with the numbering system. Now you saw in my example with Lumen, not all the notes had titles. I suggest using titles along with the numbering system. Mark notes that have been used with projects. This is important because as you're gathering things together and creating your output, you should really just add information on those notes that this was used in project such and such at a certain time. And obviously, be sure to back up. You don't want to lose anything. Sometimes iCloud hiccups, and you just want to make sure you're just backing up. I have a couple videos on how you can back up your notes, so be sure to watch those. Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it helpful. It's actually a nice way to work with the digital Zettelkasten. I like using Apple Notes for that, so I think you might find that useful as well. Again, I appreciate all the subscribers. I appreciate the comments. Please subscribe if you haven't. If you found this helpful, it helps the channel. It's no cost to you. If you have questions or comments, just add them to the comments section. I'm glad to answer anything you may have about this technique or the Zettelkasten technique in general. And again, I'll be putting out more videos on learning techniques, etc. In fact, I'll probably do one just on the Zettelkasten technique on its own. So take care and have a great day.